welcome back for another book review. A couple things right off the bat. Super fun times. I think I'm getting sick, so I'm sorry if I'm pretty low energy compared to normal. I feel like trash. Secondly, to add insult to injury, I had the most recent like 3 to 4 books that I've gone through and my notes that I take on Google Docs because I make their own separate Google Doc. Thankfully, I pay that stupid like $2 or $3 a month to have the extra space, so every one has a different file. It didn't save. It didn't save. I've never had Google Docs not save when you're connected to the internet, so that was great. So I've lost like 3 or 4 different books, all of their notes, everything. I remember filling it out. I remember taking notes as I went, and it's gone. It's utterly gone. I have no idea what happened, what glitch in the system happened. And I feel like there was a glitch in the Matrix because I swear I recorded this too. I remember talking about it and I can't find the file to save my life anyways, so it's just all around a mess. So here we are with this. Thankfully I can pull the book back up on the web. So I also dropped the book off to boot. So like they're gone. I needed to go pick up more, so I dropped them off. So yeah, it's just a hot mess express today. So just here we are. Anyways, so today we'll be talking about Chinese Astrology, Plain and Simple, the only book you'll ever need in the Plain and Simple series, and this is by Jonathan D. So as the title would suggest, this talks about the Chinese astrology. It goes over a lot of different things, which was really interesting. So it talks about, and it didn't go into a whole lot of detail about this, but it goes into how Chinese astrology also has levels within it, much like Western astrology does. So you have your animal year that you're born into, but you also have an animal month. Didn't know that. And also, the year you're born into also has an element. So I was a fire rat, and I think my husband was like a water rooster. I know, right? Like, we don't get to hear more complex sides to the Chinese astrology here, and so it was really cool to get to read through. And it talks a little bit about those, and then it talks about how you as your animal will experience each other animal's years. So like as a rat, like obviously my year's gonna be fantastic when we're back at a rat year, and then you know, some you'll have harder, like I think mine was like, again, I had it written down and it's gone. So that was great. But I think it was like hare or tiger is supposed to be harder for rats because like predator and such. And you know, it goes through the cycle of your sign of how it's supposed to interact with the other year energies, which is really interesting. It talks a little bit about, you know, if you're the subtypes of like, again, fire rat versus like a water rooster and such, or a wood dragon, you know, like it's got all of the different elements. And it talks about those specifically and how they're a little different than the other ones. It's really, really interesting. I gave this one a 4 out of 5 star. At least I think I did. I feel like it's worthy of that. At the very least, that's what I feel like now that it's been like a week or 2 since I read this. So I usually connect with mine pretty well. There were parts of it that I was like, I don't know, but like, I don't know. It's like, the thing with astrology is it's just one little aspect of you that, you know, it can be helpful, but it doesn't have to be the be-all end-all of your existence. And, you know, it's interesting to learn about. I don't know how much credence I put towards it, because like my husband never once ever does he match any of the systems that are supposed to be for him. At all. I swear at this point I'm convinced his mom had to have like gotten a false birth certificate, because he is not any ever. Like there was one book, and I think it was like a Nikki Vandekar, that was for kids or teens. That was the first time ever, like it was one of those where it was like aimed at teens, and I think it was her book. That was the first time it ever actually clicked that it was like, oh, that could be my husband though. That could be him. Because he doesn't present at all like a traditional Leo. And so like this one, yet again, does not fit him. Also, supposedly, once again, me and him are not supposed to be compatible. And I'm like, suit yourselves. we're fine. Like, comparatively, we're good. Like, we see so many of these other couples and it's like, cannot relate, bro. Like, at all, we're fine. And so, yeah, I don't know, he never ever fits his. So I always compare that, because mine, I can always be like, well, I guess kind of, yeah, this or that. And then I get to his and I'm like, literally no, literally none of this at all. And even with my dad's, it was like kind of iffy at best. My mom's was like, I mean, kinda. Like, I was comparing all of the people that I know and I'm like, maybe some parts. And I think that's the thing with astrology that always gets me, is it's like, it's the personality quiz from the ancestors, right? Like, it's their equivalent of what we would now have as a personality quiz. It sometimes is helpful, sometimes it's accurate, but not all the time, and it really shouldn't have that much sway in your life. So I would recommend this if you are interested in Chinese astrology. I think it does explain it very well, and it's one of the best ones I've read on this topic. But again, don't worry if you don't fit it, because again, I've never really had one fit my husband exactly. So don't worry if you are like him and it doesn't fit. But if you're curious in the Chinese version versus the Western, it's got really good information in here. It really walks you through it and gives a lot of context that you don't typically see. I would love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. Again, I'm sorry I don't have a whole lot of specifics. It's just what I could remember, because quite literally here is the blank of it. Yeah, that's the blank. Every single one, I copy and switch it over to a new title and make a new file of it. You know, you can just like make a copy on Google Docs. I do that and it didn't save. The title's not there, author's not there, none of my stuff is there. And it sucks, because I took a lot of notes as I was reading it, because I thought it was really interesting, and now, nope. So, yeah. Apparently I just need to print these on the regular, because yikes. So, anyways, thank you for coming along for another book review. I would love to know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. A huge thank you to my patrons. If you would like to support me and get access to exclusive stuff, I have some fun books. I have some just random books, really. Like, I have the Buddha one coming up that I'm going to be going through. I have some pagan environmentalism books coming up, reclaiming tradition books. So we got a lot coming up, so make sure to head over to Patreon and check it out. And of course, until next time, thank you for coming along and for watching to the very end. It really does help more than you would think just to watch to the very end of a video, because still to this day, this is the spot that technically I make the most money. So literally, it is free for you to do. And it's the thing that helps me the most. And I know people don't like to talk about that, but also, like, it's easy for you to do. You just watch to the end, and that's all you had to do. You just had to watch my video. And that was it. You don't have to join Patreon. You don't have to buy my books. All you had to do was watch. That was it. And you helped more than anything. Like, if you've bought my books, if you support me on Patreon, I do appreciate it. You're taking the extra mile. But also, you don't have to, and you're still helping. And it means the world to me that you believe in my crazy little career I'm doing. So, thank you, and until next time, let's be.